Hi, I'm James Hush, a solutions engineer at Daily. Today I'm going to show you the differences between Daily and OpenTok Vonage, so you can migrate an existing website from Vonage to Daily quickly and easily. Now, depending on your application, you might be able to skip this and integrate Daily Pre-Built instead. Now, Daily Pre-Built is a complete, full-featured video call solution that you can embed in your web app with just a few lines of code. We've included a link to this at the end of the video. We'll first cover how the core high-level concepts of OpenTok and Daily are related. Then we'll look into the more detailed parts of each other's APIs. Let's talk about API keys. One of the most important distinctions between OpenTok and Daily is in the developer credentials each API provides. Now with OpenTok, each project gets its own API key in secret. Both sets of Vonage credentials are then used on the server side, and the Vonage API is also exposed on the client side. Now with Daily, you get a single API key for your entire Daily domain. Now this key should never be exposed on the client. The Daily API key is not required for clients to join video calls or to perform any in-call operations. It's strictly for the server side. Next, let's talk about the differences between an OpenTok session and a Daily room. An OpenTok session ID is a randomized base64 encoded string. A Daily room ID, on the other hand, is a URL. This URL consists of your Daily domain and room name. So for example, domain.daily.co/room name. Daily rooms can be created through the developer dashboard or through our REST API. Unlike OpenTok sessions, Daily rooms can have an optional expiry date and other configuration properties. In other words, you can think of a Daily room as an OpenTok session with more features. Next up are OpenTok session tokens and Daily meeting tokens. Now, meeting tokens can be obtained through Daily's REST API or by self-signing a token using your Daily API key. You can scope Daily's meeting tokens to be used with a specific Daily room or across your entire domain. Now let's look at the difference between OpenTok publishers and subscribers and Daily's participants. In OpenTok, publishers and subscribers connect to a session. Publishers can publish a media stream that contains the audio and the video tracks. Subscribers represent remote user media streams. Now in Daily, participants join a Daily room where each participant can send one or more media tracks. Now the OpenTok camera and microphone track publisher is similar to Daily's local participant. For example, Daily participants can, in OpenTok terms, publish or unpublish a video track by calling set local video. When a media track is started for any participant, Daily emits a track started event on the call object instance. Now this event payload contains information about the affected track. Likewise, a track stopped event is emitted when a media track is stopped. Now by default, Daily automatically manages audio and video tracks and tracks for sharing screen audio and video. You can also set up your own custom tracks to a participant. Now if you're using Daily.js, you can read our blog post about working with participant media tracks. If you're using Daily React, we actually provide a Daily video and a Daily audio React component to handle all these tracks for you. You just gotta pass in the domain ID. Now, despite all of the similarities between Daily participants and OpenTok publishers and subscribers, there are still some differences that might impact your existing application logic, especially for screen sharing. With OpenTok, a screen share has its own publisher that handles screen video and screen audio. Existing OpenTok applications often include logic that treats a user's screen shares tracks as an object that's separate from the other tracks coming in from that user. Now in Daily, users sharing their screen video and audio will have a screen video and screen audio tracks present on the participant object. So anything to do with me is on my participant object, including my screen sharing, including my normal local camera and audio feeds. What if you want to implement OpenTok signals with Daily? Well, Daily we have something similar called app message events. So in OpenTok, to send data to a session participants, you would use OpenTok's signaling API to send and receive signal events. And Daily, to pass data between participants, you would send and receive an app message event. App message events can be sent on the client side by using the send app message function call, or through our REST API using /rooms/name/send app message endpoint. While OpenTok has media modes, Daily has network topologies. With OpenTok, you can select the relayed or routed media modes when you create a session. Daily opts for more standard WebRTC terms, so these modes translate to Daily's peer-to-peer or SFU network topologies, respectively. Daily's topology can change seamlessly while the call is in progress. So by default, Daily's room starts off in peer-to-peer mode in a Daily pre-built call. The room automatically switches while the call is happening to SFU mode. You can customize this behavior by specifying the SFU switchover property when creating a Daily room. The value you set on this property determines the maximum participant count to retain peer-to-peer network topology. Once more participants join, the room will automatically switch to SFU topology. If you'd like the room to be in SFU mode as soon as the first participant joins, you can set SFU switchover property to 0.5. Another feature important for many calls is live streaming with RTMP. OpenTok's RTMP live streaming logic can be replaced with a call to Daily's start live streaming method with your RTMP URL. Our guide on live streaming with RTMP contains in-depth information about live streaming with Daily. We also encourage you to look into our support for interactive live streaming, which supports up to 100,000 participants in an interactive real-time call. Perfect for any sort of QA session for a large virtual event. Not only can you have live calls with Daily, but we can also record the calls too. If you're already writing to your own S3 bucket with Vonage, you can have Daily write to the same one by following our S3 storage setup guide. We also provide a repository with sample code for this setup. Any existing logic to process these recordings should be modified to account for Daily's file name format for recordings. Again, there's additional resources there in our recording calls with Daily's API guide. Phew, so we went through a lot right there. Well, we hope this video serves as a fruitful starting point for developers interested in migrating from Vonage OpenTok to Daily's WebRTC video APIs. Please contact us if you have any questions or need support in your migration. We're always here to help.